my eyes not deceive me, or am I looking at the goddess Isis herself? Can you do me a favor, my brown skin angel? Can you tap that white girl for me?
Pawana, who dreams of going to school and becoming a teacher, applies makeup. A favourite pastime for little girls, but Pawana knows she is preparing for what awaits her. My father has sold me because we don't have bread, rice and flour. He has sold me to an old man.
I figured it was about time that we checked in on Afghanistan. I mean, there's been so much going on throughout the country that a lot of things are really happily pushed to the wayside, and the absolute failure that is Biden's withdrawal in Afghanistan is one of them. And it's really interesting that this story is coming to us from CNN of all places because of their willingness to cheerlead. I mean, you got the guy you want. I mean, you're really putting a spotlight on this. Well, I'm glad you did, because as a Western man, right? As an American, as a man who grew up in this country, I've always been, I guess, geared towards seeing the inherent value in every individual. So to see this young 9-year-old girl being sold, it infuriates me. Yet at the same time, I also recognize, and I've said on this channel several times, how, particularly in the videos, when I'm discussing the young women who are complaining about the most first world problems there are, I say, your currency in many parts of the world and throughout history, yet these individuals that I, like to see the value in each and every one of, you, the listener included, there's some money that they could have gotten for you at different stages in life, right? Like, you could have been brought and sold. We are so far removed from that era here in Western society where currency, as paper money has replaced, we put all our monetary value into our paper currency, that we are generations removed from being in this area. But that is not to be said for the rest of the world. And so whereas every fiber of my being is like, no, what are you putting on makeup for? Go play with a doll, is screaming that. It also comes with the recognition that, this is the reality is that we are but just a few generations removed culturally from being in the exact same position.
He has sold me to an old man. The white-bearded man who claims he's 55 years old comes to collect her.
That's 55? Bruh, that's 55? Out there, y'all be living real hard lives, bro. I'm just saying, out there, y'all living real hard lives.
He's bought Pawana for 200,000 Afghanis, just over $2,000 US.
That's the going market for a 9-year-old, 2,000 bucks. Like, once again, it is really cultural, right? Because, granted, I've yet to, sire any children. I personally, even not having done so, would have a hard time, putting a price tag on this fruit of my loins. But that is a huge cultural difference between us here in the West and those out east. It's definitely more of a primal era out there. And if he has other children, then you gotta feed them, you gotta feed the family, you gotta feed the rest of the family. And there's a certain level of heartbreak that your boy is experiencing right now. Even though I am just as detached as possible, having been a kid, having sisters, having, you know what I'm saying, just like family that you know what I'm saying, having a father who wouldn't, who worked his ass off and made sure that we, you know what I'm saying, he took part in all the opportunities that were afforded to him, so whereas he wouldn't have to, you know what I'm saying, the thought of selling off his children, as far as I know, never crossed his mind in anything other than probably a hilarious context. But just my heart breaks for him. It really does, because, you know, being like, to do what, I mean, what do you think? What do you really buy girls for, huh?
Covered up, Parwana whimpers as her mother holds her. "This is your bride. Please take care of her," says Parwana's father. "Of course I will take care of her," replies the man. His large hands grab her small frame. Parwana tries to pull away.
It sucks. It really does. But it's also CNN. So there, and this guy, I mean, really, 55? Really, my boy? 55? I'm just saying. Either ways, you know, there is a certain grain of salt that I'm going to toss on this, primarily because of its source. I mean, CNN is still CNN, and CNN is still a piece of shit, all right? And, but make absolutely no mistake about it. Even if this scenario is staged, it is a scenario that does take place throughout the world. Not just, I mean, we have the coyote situation when it comes to the southern border, right? Where, you know, people are like children, young kids get sold off. And, you know, like, I've made jokes on this channel when it comes to Trevor Noah and a lot of these quote unquote celebrities, these Disney celebrities, right? That come out of like nowhere, like, yo, who and what are their parents? Like, they made you in a test tube, Ariana Grande. But either way, guys, yeah, so, I mean, we take it with a grain of salt, but I did want to just remind everyone that, yeah, Afghanistan is still a problem, and also to catch a couple of feminist points, right? Because for as much as I call myself a misogynist, and I do believe that, I ultimately do believe men have dominion over women, just not individually, but, you know, theoretically, yeah, we kind of do have dominion over you, sweetie. Like, just take that pill and sit down and have a Coke, swallow it, and just relax. It's all good. We'll take care of this and shit. But seriously, you know, heart goes out to Pawani, and, you know, best of luck. You know, hopefully he's just wanting some daughters that he can actually, you know what, he might be purchasing them so he can teach them like all the ways of his ninjutsu and shit, and have him a couple of badass female assassins and shit. I mean, there's like, let's try to put a positive spin on this fucking story. like please, let me try to put a positive spin on the story. Maybe, just maybe, he gonna pomade their asses and shit, and when they grow up and shit, they're just gonna be like two of the most illest assassins to ever assassinate.
Parwana tries to pull away. As he carries her only bag of belongings, she again resists, digging her heels into the dirt. But it's futile. The fate of this small, helpless child has been sealed.
But like I said, you know, like, once again, he might be purchasing her to, you know, like on some Miss Havisham shit, right? Like, you remember the story Great Expectations, right? So he might be sending her off to finishing school. I mean, he had the bread to cop her in the first place, so he might be sending her off to finishing school, and she might be okay. I mean, dang, you know, maybe. I mean, fingers crossed, right? That is me being as humanly optimistic as possible, all right? Because Like, yo, real talk. This clearly over 55-year-old man plowing through this 9-year-old child is just not a pleasant thought to entertain in the slightest. Jesus Christ, what did we do over there? What did we do? So guys, with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you like it, toss it a like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub, join my fantastic voice. You want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and like are the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications. Get something from Teespring. Check me out on Odyssey as well. Links in the description. Actually go in the description box and do damage and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? This is this is sad. This is heartbreaking shit. It really is. I honestly, I hope beyond hope that CNN is being this is just a CNN marketing ploy. I really do, for the kids' sake. But you may disagree, and that's what the comment section's for. Until the next one.
Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. Every breath I take without your permission raises my self-esteem.